Hi, this is Andrea, Stoma Warrior, talking to you today about Azathioprine. It's an immunosuppressing drug that I've just been put back on first time in around 10 years. So I want to talk to you about the journey of it, and I want to keep track of how it works and how I feel throughout. Azathioprine is basically there as an immune suppressing drug, as I've said. It's to help your body to stop attacking itself, which is what's happening in Crohn's disease, in bowel disease, colitis. It also impacts rheumatoid arthritis, lupus. It can be used to stop your body rejecting organs after a transplant. So many uses, but it is quite a high risk, obnoxious drug. It can make you feel really flu-like, really virally, really exhausted. It can cause pancreatitis. It's got a whole arsenal of issues. But I have been on it before for 10 years quite successfully. Obviously, unfortunately, it did fail for me last time, and I ended up having my whole colon removed. But now I have no colon, no rectum, no anus. I'm all sewn shut. Barbie butt. Love that one. And now I just have my stoma, my permanent ileostomy stoma, and still have Crohn's disease. It was believed it was colitis, hence why they took the whole colon, which was really riddled with disease, but I hoped that was all finished, but it's not. I also have inflammatory arthritis now, which is one of the gifts of Crohn's. It's the gift that keeps on giving, and that affects my knees, my feet at the moment mainly, and it can affect other parts of my body. So my rheumatologist and my IBD surgeon, consultant, whatever they are, have got together and decided that this is for me. So I'm trying it again. So I'm going to keep a diary of it and track it, how I feel, see what the side effects are, see how my body deals with it, see how I get on with it, and see how beneficial it is. I'm hoping it will help reduce the inflammation, which should help reduce the amount of partial blockages that I'm getting, the amount of abdominal pains I'm getting, the amount of tenderness, the amount of bloating. I'm hoping it might help my output, which is quite watery all the time and is very high volume, possibly because of the disease, sort of emulsion on my bowel, causing more output. I'm also hoping it helps my knees because they're really bad. One knee can actually look fatter than my thigh on a regular day, on a bad day, and that really impacts me mental health because I can't get out and exercise. So again, the weight, so again, I feel pretty awful. So this is my double whammy. This is one of my main things I really never ever wanted to see again. Did not want to go back on it after 10 years, but I'm giving it a go because there's no other option. There's more surgery. I'm seeing a surgeon on the 5th of June to discuss, because my last MRI, the consultant's comments were he couldn't really see what was going on because of the state of my abdomen, which kind of seemed a bit rude to me, but I kind of got a picture. There's a lot of scar tissue going on. I've also got a fistula forming. So I'm also seeing my previous consultant at St Mark's Hospital, which is now based at Middlesex, Central Middlesex, not Harrow, in July, with the hopes that they will be able to help. They've done my last 2 surgeries and they are amazing. The hospital is based purely around bowel disease and bowel issues. So everybody there knows what they're talking about. They don't try and ask you for appendicitis. And, you know, full well, if you haven't got colon, you don't have an appendix. That has been an issue once in my local hospital when they thought I had appendicitis, until my consultant took pleasure in telling me it's impossible as I have no colon, which they did know. Anyway, that's another story. So I'm going to be starting this medication. I started it 2 days ago, taking it at night. 50 milligrams for a week, then 100 for the next week, 150 for the next week, up to a whopping 175 long term. Slightly concerned about the volume or the level that I'm taking up to, because previously when I've had this drug and the levels haven't been right, I felt absolutely dreadful and flu-like. Couldn't concentrate, my cognition was horrendous, I felt sick, I felt shaky, I felt drunk, I just felt absolutely dreadful, and literally by lowering the dose after a short time, it was quite a short time, I managed to level out and felt quite well on it. I managed to carry on, as I say, for 10 years. So I'm hoping this time to get that under control. The dose has been based on my bloods that they ran over the 2-week period, that they check your body's metabolism and your body's ability to deal with the drug, and also your height, weight, build, etc. So that's what they're recommending, so we'll give it a go. So I'm going to keep checking in to build up a nice little story for everybody out there facing this drug, and just see how we go. First 2 nights I've taken it an hour after food, or half an hour after food. I'm also on omeprazole because I get a lot of bloating, a lot of sickness. I have found the medication does cause quite quickly indigestion in the sort of esophagus and down your stomach that way. peppermint tea's helped. It doesn't seem to be long lasting. It seems to ease off after an hour or two, or when I go to bed, so hence taking it at night so I can sleep through it. That will possibly increase as I adjust to it, but it is one of the side effects that they say should settle down. So I'm just going to grin and bear it, and hope it passes, and hope that the acid ingestion doesn't affect my bag as well, because obviously that could liquidise it. So we're going to give this a go. We're going to see what happens, and that way hopefully when I see my surgeons I'll be able to say I'm going to give this a go and we don't need surgery right now. Obviously a fistula may. And I'm really praying that the ulcers go off my stoma, because they make it bleed, they make it irritable, they make it wet. So I get a lot of seepage just on the edge of the bag seal. I use the barrier rings, as you know. They absorb a lot of it, but I do have to change bags sort of every other day at a minimum, because the seepage does get under there still. I have a highly mobile stoma, so because it has all the inflammation still, it's retracting, contracting, spasming. So that's moving around all the time, and it can cause it to leak a little bit under the seal. Don't leak out, thankfully, but it just hurts my skin. So we will see, and I will talk to you again next week when I got to the 100, and see how we're getting on. Fingers crossed we see some progression. I do understand it takes 3 to 6 months to really understand if it's helped. I'm hoping a little bit quicker, but we'll see. Thank you. Please share me any experiences you have with azathioprine, good or bad. Everybody needs to hear them. We see so many warning side effects, impacts and horror stories. It'd be nice to hear how you've managed it as well. Good luck to everybody out there doing the same, and let's see if we can kick this arse of this Crohn's yet again. Thank you.